Good morning, everybody. It is April 20th, and this is our Monday morning update. Tony Vignani, Board of Selectmen. I've got Jim Boudreau and Bill Burkhead with us from the school. I'm just going to start with a quick announcement that I'm sure you're all aware of. We have annual town meeting tonight at 7 o'clock at the the high school gym. I want to assure everybody that we're going to follow COVID protocols to the best of our ability. People will be spaced out. You'll be required to wear a mask. And all the literature will be there for you to get. Microphones will be cleaned off after every speaker. So again, we are doing everything we can to keep the meeting going as efficiently as possible so that people aren't in there too long. But again, safety protocols are being followed. That being said, Jim, why don't I turn it over to you and you can update the town on the other issues.
Sure, thank you, Tony. Let's start with the vaccine eligibility. We remain eligible for residents 55 and over. Our residents with one comorbidity, again, you can go to mass.gov, find out if you have one of the qualifying comorbidities to get a shot. You can sign up on the state website to reserve a vaccination. They will notify you when you're available. It is still currently only the mass vaccination sites. It is my understanding, though, that Marshfield will be added to the pre-registration sometime this month. So keep an eye on that. CVS and the other sites are still, as available, they post, and you need to just keep checking those. If you have a problem, the state hotline 211 or the Council on Aging 781-545-8722, and we can find someone to help you get on that list. Since last Monday, we had 33 cases. That's now from 38 the previous week. We still have multiple locations with multiple numbers in them, so 3 or 4 people in one household. We remain in the yellow on the state COVID map, although our positivity rating was up to 3.54% from 2.72% the previous week. The state's positivity rating for the last 7 days was actually down very slightly, down to 2.2 from 2.24. So again, the mask requirements are still in place. Washing of the hands, group and capacity requirements are all still in place. So we need people to still follow those rules until we can get more people vaccinated. And that really is just a function of the amount of vaccine that's available. So please continue to follow the protocols and we can get these numbers down where they need to be. The Board of Selectmen has established an internship program. We'll be putting information about that out on the website this week. We have a number of pending projects that we need to get off the ground and we just really haven't had the time to do. Among the other things that we're going to look at is how we communicate with residents in our social media game. And we've had working on a project down at the Cole Parkway about the parking and how that's set up. So we could use some help with that. And I know the Charter Review Committee is looking for some help. So that'll be up this week. People can apply and we'll be selecting some unfortunately unpaid interns to help the town get some of our work done. Widows Walk is open. We've had a great first week at Widows Walk. People want to go out and play golf. The Widows Walk Enterprise Fund has already made its revenue for the fiscal year, so we're in good shape there. Where we need to do more, we have put out the RFP. It's on the website for food trucks who might be interested in locating down at Widows Walk. The clubhouse is currently closed because of the ongoing renovations that we'll be doing. So we're hoping to have a food truck down there so people can get something to eat when they're playing golf by the 1st of May, but we'll keep working on that. Down in Hummerock, a reminder, the firefighters are relocated to the temporary quarters up on 4th Cliff. The fire station down there will be completely renovated, so the demolition is scheduled to be completed this week. It's going to be a modular building with a new bay for the fire trucks. The current station, really, we can't fit the modern trucks in it. It's just not big enough. And then during the March 2018 storms, that building flooded, so we needed to put the living quarters up on pilings to get it out of the flood zone. So that's required that we basically will be having a new building down there. So the firefighters are still in Hummerock. They're just up on 4th Cliff so they can respond. And that project is scheduled to be completed by the end of October. We had a nice day on Saturday. Unfortunately, Peggotty Beach parking lot is closed right now. We are doing a project to pave most of that parking lot and repair the rest of it. This is FEMA money from previous storms. The project is scheduled to be done by the end of April. I know some people wonder why we do this project in the spring, and the reason is we have to wait for the asphalt plants to open up to get the asphalt to do the paving. But that project should make it a lot easier to get it out of Peggotty Beach the coming summer. Cole Parkway project, we're in the final stages of that. If you get down there now, you'll see the new gangway. Handicap accessible gangway is in place along with a new entryway for the marina. They need to drive some new pilings and put in a overlook basically next to the current gangway entrance, and that will just about wrap up that project After that, we'll put the utilities back in place. We are on schedule to be completed by the start of the boating season. But if you get out there now, you'll see substantially what the work is that's going to be done at the Cole Parkway Marina. Cedar Point, again, they're working back in the neck, so we need you to stay out of Cedar Point if you're not a resident. It's very tight in there. It's hard to get in and out with vehicles, and if you put people walking out there, it makes it even more dangerous. That project is on schedule to be done this spring, so please, if you don't need to go to Cedar Point during the workday, please stay out of there until the construction wraps up for the day. On the waterfront, we are still flushing this week. We'll be flushing in the same areas that we flushed last week. Hadley from Egypt Beach Road to Jericho, Beaver Dam, Tilden to Jericho, Turner, Tilden to Hadley, and First Parish Common to Kent. Surrounding streets from those will also be flushed, so you may see discolored water. Let your water run, and it should clear up fairly quickly. The water treatment plant, we are at 2.5% plus inches at the reservoir. Our average total usage for the last 7 days was 1.362 million gallons a day, which is slightly high for us. The state is currently in a drought condition, so we're asking people to conserve water the best they can before we have to put on mandatory restrictions. But if we don't get some rain soon, again, it's a statewide drought, we may have to put those restrictions in sooner than we normally do. So if you don't have to use your water, please conserve it to the extent possible. And in addition, the water main project replacements will start in the next 2 weeks. The residents who are in those affected areas have already been notified by flyers. We will most likely start on Brook Street coming out of the harbor, so we get that project done at that end before the summer season starts and the traffic in the harbor picks up. But again, the people who are in those areas have been notified that project should start within the next 2 weeks. And finally, I would be remiss if I did not offer congratulations to my alma mater, the University of Massachusetts in Amherst, on the men's hockey team winning the NC2A men's hockey championship. So congratulations to UMass. I know there's a lot of Scituate people who graduated from there or go there. So it's I think it's a great thing for our state university. And I will be getting a championship hat that I'll be wearing all around to gloat about that in the future. So that's what I have for today.
Great. Thanks, Jim. I do want to, while you're talking about water, I just want to thank the group that was out at the transfer station on Saturday, including our own Andrew Goodrich, who were passing out those rain barrels for people who purchased them to install in their house. So that's another great way to conserve water. So thank you to Freya and Andrew for that efforts there, and everybody else who was there. All right, Bill, I'll turn it over to you. It's a big day.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Vignani. Thank you for the introduction, and it is a big day. Thank you, Mr. Boudreau. We're back in full person learning K through 12. Our K through 5 students, as you may know, returned a couple weeks ago on March 29th and have been doing extremely well, adjusting to back in person learning. And our 6 through 12 students started this morning. So there was a lot of excitement out there. There was a lot of music, dancing, celebrations. I want to thank our principals, our staff for putting that all together. It was like your traditional first day of school in September, where there was a lot of happy parents, a lot of smiles on the staff and families' faces. And, you know, walking through the schools during the first block, there was a lot of activities where it's get to know you type of things, because your colleagues as students have been on the computer while you've been in school and vice versa. So now it's the first time where they all are in person together. So it's a really exciting time for us. There's been a lot of preparation that's gone into it. So I just want to thank the school committee for their support, the community for their patience and resiliency, and of course our staff and students for all they've done to make this happen. So I just, tying that into next week being school vacation, I just asked that, you know, a lot of what happens in school is the result of what happens outside of school with mitigation strategies. We know that there's been no transmission within the school, so we ask that the community, if you're vacationing, that's great, just to make sure that you're following proper testing protocols before returning back to school, and that we're wearing our masks and social distancing over vacation and enjoying ourselves so that we can stay fully open. So exciting times here, and I just want to thank everyone again. I also want to give a shout out to Chief Thompson and Scituate Police. We do have police out in the morning for our transition into school and when we exit school because of the amount of traffic at the middle and high school. So I do want to, you know, thank everyone for their patience with that. There's just a lot of people congregating in a small area. It's been running very smoothly, and the police are very helpful. but we need to know that that will be delayed in your traffic. Again, we'll continue to observe and work on that and try to make it the best we possibly can. So again, thank you for your patience on that. As far as COVID cases for the school this week, or last week, excuse me, we had 8 cases, which seems to be our average for the past month, 7 or 8 for the district. As Mr. Boudreau said, our town is in the yellow category, and according to the dashboard, our surrounding towns are mostly in the yellow as well. The total number of cases for the school year has been 194, and each night we share that with the community so they're notified on a regular basis. School committee meeting tonight prior to the town meeting with just 1 or 2 agenda items for that, but I encourage everybody to turn out for that if you can, because we'll be introducing our new Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. This is our second search, if you recall. We believe we have the right candidate this time, and I want to thank the search committee that put in a lot of time and hours on 2 searches that were very thorough and comprehensive. The feedback from the community forum was overwhelmingly and unanimously in support of this candidate, and we'll be introducing that candidate this evening at 6 p.m. The next meeting after that is April 26th, just to highlight that. That's a big night for us as well. We'll be presenting to the community our progress, our student progress and growth this year, and our curriculum growth as well, to give people perspectives on where we are. You know, I think we're excited to say that, you know, this hasn't been a lost year. In fact, we're making a lot of gains in a lot of areas. We also have identified areas that we need to get better and grow on. So we'll be sharing all that, being very transparent, and sharing our plan that we're using this year to identify areas of growth and to highlight areas of success. So that will be on April 26th. And again, I'll remind folks of that in upcoming Thursday Thoughts and also on these weekly meetings. Last one, I'd just like to give a sailor shout out to one of our students last week in the Jenkins Elementary School, Calvin Williams. Oftentimes when I go into the schools, the teachers will ask, especially the young ones, do you know who this is? And I was very happy to see that Calvin jumped up in Miss Crean's class at Jenkins, and he said, he's Super Burkhead. So I gave him an elbow, and I said, geez, now I just need a cape to match my suit, and I'll be all set. So from the mouths of babes, it was really very cool to hear that. And a shout out to Calvin for dubbing me Super Burkhead. So that's all I have for today. Have a great week, everybody.
Great. Thanks, Bill. Best of luck this week. I know it's going great, and the kids or parents are excited about it. And lastly, just a reminder, town meeting tonight at 7. We'll be talking about the town budget, the capital plan, and many other issues. We do have a consent agenda, so we're trying to keep it as condensed and efficient as possible. So 7 o'clock at the Grim. Jim.